What is the best life hack you use during your everyday life? Don't put it down. Put it away. Stops clutter at the source. If you look like you know where you're going, you will almost never be stopped or questioned. Hilariously, I did this by accident once. I walked into a career fair and normally they are packed, but this one was not. I walked around and talked to people and gave them my resume and stuff. Had a great time. And my advisor comes up to me and asks who I am representing. And I say no one. He starts laughing and told me it didn't open for another 5 minutes and there was a student line around the corner. Apparently I looked like I knew what I was doing when I walked in, that no one at the door had stopped me. The line was in a weird place, so I did not see it when I walked in. I received 5 interviews that led to 3 offers from that fair alone. I clean up while I cook. Easier to clean non-caked on food in the sink while waiting for other things to finish up. I wish my roommates would do this. They fill up the sink with all of their shit and then they put off doing them for up to weeks at a time because of how caked on the food is. Meanwhile, I clean directly after eating my meal. Something I've done since I was a child. When I confront them about it, they get super defensive and repeatedly tell me they are getting to it. Super frustrating. Adjust a picture frame at your desk so you can see behind you with the reflection of the glass. It's a subtle way of knowing if someone is behind you without looking over your shoulder the whole time. Stares into picture of Jesus while opening an incognito tab. A life hack for students. When you are writing a research lengthy essay or report, find one very comprehensive source. Literature reviews are great for this, that directly relates to your topic or thesis. And use the paper's reference list bibliography for locating your sources. Don't you hate it when you show someone one picture on your phone and then they start scrolling through looking at your other pictures? I learned this from Reddit. Enlarge the picture just a little bit. Then when they go to swipe, they are just moving that picture around and not going to your next picture. It works. Whenever I want to get up from bed, it's gonna be a shocker, get up from bed. No thinking. No slazing. No laziness. Just get the fuck up. All I need is exactly 1 second after waking up and realizing that I have to get up, and then I immediately get up. I've noticed that the more I lay off and the more I stay in bed, the harder it is to actually get up. The biggest cup. Setting on a Keurig coffee maker is perfect for instant ramen cups. Windows key plus E to open my computer. It has saved me literally minutes over the years. All the Windows key shortcuts are great. Plus arrows will snap the open window to the left or right. Maximize or minimize it. Plus R opens the run program dialog box. Plus P to toggle the projector display settings quickly. Just to name my favorites. Befriend your professors and teachers. They'll go out of their way to help you. When I was a freshman in college, I was close with my English professor at the time. A tiny woman from Bosnia that could run in stiletto heels. I had a lot of nasty roommate problems that year and she always came to my rescue if I needed to hide from my roommate. When my roommate attacked me and I was moved to protective housing on emergency, she rallied all of the strongest people in my class to help me move. Befriend the cleaning staff in the dorms. I gave the woman that comes to clean my sweet bathroom a cupcake because my birthday had been recent and now she moves heaven and earth for me. Normally my soutemates and I have to take care of the road salt that gets tracked into the small common room. But since I gave her a cupcake, she mops it all up for us. Being nice to people who deserve it will get you really far in life. Edit. Since I've gotten this question several times, I'll clarify. The cleaning ladies in the dorms do not clean our entire rooms. They only clean our bathrooms. If you get stuck in the hood for any reason, carry a small pad and pen. Walk around taking notes. When someone asks what you are doing, tell them pre-survey for government aid. You'll get a damn tour instead of mugged. Edit. Done this twice in places white people aren't welcome. A third time I faked being deaf. Some gang members took me to the gallery I was supposed to go to and dropped me off at the front door for that one. They were very hostile until they thought I was deaf. Close bracket. Edit. Too many people ask me about faking being deaf. As a kid, my friend down the street had a hearing issue. Not 100% deaf, but she signed and had a speech issue. I picked up some sign language from her and we all had to learn some sign language in junior high for choir. So yeah, I just taped reading lips the way she did. No signing. That would have been pointless. Letting a drop of superglue dry on the up face of my USB phone charger handle. The superglue solidifies and becomes hard, which means you know which side is up just by rubbing your finger over the handle. So you always plug it into your device the right way first time every time. By design, the little USB picture is supposed to face towards you when you plug it in, but in practice manufacturers suck and some flip the cable picture around while tons flip the receiving port around. UHG, I can't wait for USB-C. I wish I had this in college. If I have work or study to do, and I'm not motivated and just start procrastinating again, I watch a video or listen to a podcast of the topic on YouTube. It helps to get my brain focused on the subject before I get started on my own critical thinking. That way I'm not going from 0 to 100 and risking my attention going elsewhere. Here's a slightly unethical one for job seekers out there. When you're hunting for a job, post a fake ad for a very similar position on Craigslist. This will give you some insight into the resumes of your competition, so you know what you're up against and also helps you polish up your own resume. Sign all contracts drunk, and they can become null and void if you want. Result not guaranteed. Se habla español. Just studied this topic this past week at law school. Unless you're basically incapacitated, the judge will almost never rule the contract voidable. The circumstances have to be right to subcontract usually as to be so extremely biased that the average person would never accept the deal unless incapacitated. So, your life pro tip will not work. If you're getting groceries, fart in the detergent cleaning product aisle. Welcome. If you occupy yourself with Reddit at school, then time will fly by. I'm a university student. Can confirm that I'm on Reddit in class 80% of the time. When you think you are very close to orgasm but want to carry on, subtly bite your tongue and the feeling will go away. Best way to prolong an orgasm. I dip my fork into the salad dressing before I form each salad bite instead of pouring it all over. I get a fraction of the calories, yet each bite has plenty of dressing. I do this with everything that has gravy on it as well, by which I mean everything. I'm from the south. Far better in terms of calories, and in terms of actually tasting the flavors of the food which is otherwise overwhelmed by gravy. Mindfulness. Be aware of what you're doing. Pay attention to the steps you are taking as you walk, and what people and places you are passing by. It's so easy to just zone out and float on through, but really put some effort into cementing yourself into the present. This sounds flighty and nonsensical, but it helps with stuff like making sure you remember you have your keys or credit card or wallet with you as you are leaving a place, because you are conscious of the act of putting them back in your pocket instead of zoning out and doing it automatically, risking completely forgetting it. Linen closet maintenance 101. Everything in a set goes into one pillowcase. You don't have to worry about folding a fitted sheet again. If I want to force myself to exercise in the morning, I wear my gym clothes to bed, or wear pajamas to the gym. Loud toys can be nearly silenced by putting clear scotch tape over the speaker holes. It knocks the noise out almost completely but is still loud enough that the kid enjoys it. This has saved several obnoxiously loud toys from the trash can. Use cold water to wash blood out of clothes. It works better. If you catch it before it gets too dry, stick it in some cold water with a lot of salt and let it soak for a while. That will remove all of the stain and you can throw it in the washer with the rest of the laundry after. Source. I'm serial killer, not really, just have child with lots of nosebleeds. I'm 70 years old and I really like to play cards on Pogo and watch TV at the same time. My problem was my computer is on the opposite wall from the TV. So what I did was put a mirror that is on a stand, old makeup mirror, next to the computer and aim it at the TV. Voila. Now I can do both. My daughter says she is going to have an intervention. Lol. Definitely drying off my razor by patting it on a towel and running it along the grain of the towel following my morning shave. I use some sort of bullshitty turbocharged variation of the Mac III and used to go through its expensive razor packs very frequently. I started using this technique around the beginning of January and literally replaced my first blade last month. Learn to use your toes to grab things. You can pick things up. You can even type on a keyboard when surfing the internet if both of your hands are preoccupied. Keep a medium priority wish list in your wallet handbag. Things that you don't desperately need soon, but could use and should buy whenever you can spare the money. This will keep you from blowing too much money on impulse purchases. Every day I find another fruit tree in the neighborhood and put it on a map. I then find a Mexican restaurant that serves free chips and salsa and put that on the map. I then triangulate free meals based on the proximity of the fruit trees to the Mexican restaurants. I'm a smaller, non-intimidating person, so people don't often move out of the way I'm walking in crowds. I read somewhere that looking where you want to go will clear people out of the way. People still don't move out of my way when I do this. So I direct my gaze in the area between the person who's in my way and where I want to head instead of just looking right where I want to go. This often involves looking somewhere around a person's neck if they are directly in front of me. I think it gives people the impression that they're going to be in my way or something. Even if I do this to just secure some extra walking room, people actually tend to slightly curve their walk to avoid my path, or the path they see my eyes going. When I do this, before you start to cook something, double quote, clear the decks. My grandfather taught me this. He was a firefighter, and as a result of years in the firehouse, knew his way around a kitchen. Before you begin cooking, get the kitchen ready to cook. Empty the dishwasher, or start it if it's full. Empty the sink. Clear the counters. Get your ingredients out. Preheat the oven. Get ready to cook. Before you start to cook. After that, clean as you go. If you've used a utensil and are through with it, put it in the dishwasher. Got a free moment or two? Wash a dish. Dry it. Put it away. If you use your time wisely while cooking, you'll find that your cleanup afterwards is much easier and less time consuming. If you are having self-confidence issues, in the mornings look at yourself in the mirror and say, double quote, I am beautiful, I am strong, and I am worth it. It is absolutely ridiculous and you feel weird talking to yourself, but it really helps. Something about saying it to yourself consistently makes you start to believe it. Drink a pint of water every morning. Takes away the feeling that death has climbed your ear in the night and plans to spend the day putting shelves up on the inside of your skull. If you drop something fragile, don't try to grab it on the way down. Stick out a foot and let it bounce off your foot. It'll absorb enough of the speed that whatever it is probably won't break. Learned this with camera lenses. Not for big stuff, obviously. We have these inspections or audits at work where they send in a group of people to check records and basically make sure our shit is together. Whenever this happens, I pull out a small notebook and start writing random things on it as they're talking and asking questions. Makes people very uncomfortable and they leave me alone after a couple of minutes and move on to someone else. Wear headphones if you don't want to be bothered. You don't even have to listen to anything. Just wear them. People won't bother you. And if they do, pretend you didn't hear them. Works great in shopping malls with the people trying to sell you lotion or perfume or some crap.